Hello everyone, this is Jim Kieran from the EQUELLA team, and today I'm going to show you how to bulk import content into EQUELLA using the EQUELLA Bulk Importer, or EBI. When you start the EBI, two windows are presented. One is the terminal and one is the application. Both of those need to be left running to use the EBI. Today we're going to import into this institution, and we're going to import our content into a collection called Resources. Resources inside the wizard, you can see, has a series of metadata fields plus the ability to attach files. To connect the EBI to our EQUELLA institution, we need to provide it with an EQUELLA institution URL. We can get that from our browser, so I'll just copy that there and paste it into the field institution URL inside the EBI. We then provide a username and password of a user that has permissions to create, view and edit items inside our EQUELLA collection. Clicking Test Get Collections, EBI actually verifies our connection parameters and also retrieves the available collections for importing into. So we'll choose our collection called Resources, and our connection parameters are complete. Now let's look at the content that we want to import into our institution. I have in a folder 3 files that I'd like to import. Each one of those files will be a single attachment to an individual item inside my EQUELLA institution. To provide them to the EBI, we need to list them inside a file called a CSV. CSV stands for Comma Separated View. It's a text file that's formatted kind of like a table of data. The easiest way to produce a CSV is to use Microsoft Excel. The format is each one of these column headings will be a metadata location, an XPath for where we're going to upload our metadata to inside each item, and each row will be the data for each item. So my first column is going to be full of titles for my items. So I'll paste in here these values. They will be my titles. Now, as I said, we need to provide the XPath to where the title is located in the metadata of our items. The easiest way to determine that is to go to the EQUELLA administration console for our institution and open up the resources collection inside the collection definition editor. So if I click on the wizard tab, I can see that wizard that we saw earlier, and I have an edit box that's been labeled title, which is most likely where my title should go. So under the metadata target, I can see the XPath of where the title metadata needs to be uploaded to, /metadata/title. So over here, I'm going to put metadata/title. You'll note that I left off the first slash. That needs to be done when putting in an XPath into a CSV for the EBI. The next column I'm going to provide are going to be descriptions. So again, I'm going to go to the administration console and have a look at what the XPath is for my description field in the wizard. So that is /metadata/description. So again, omitting the first slash, we're putting metadata/description. And beneath that column heading, we put the actual data. So there are all 3 descriptions. So the third column will be the locations or the file names of the files that we want to upload. We're actually telling, in this column, the EBI, what files from my hard drive or from my network share that I'm going to be uploading into EQUELLA. So these are the files. So those file names need to actually be provided inside the CSV. So I'll copy those and paste them right here. And the XPath for this column should be the XPath for the attachments control inside my wizard. So down here, there's the attachments control, and its XPath is /metadata/files/file. So again, omitting the first slash, we have metadata slash files slash file. So now the CSV is pretty much ready to go, and I'm going to save it. But I'm not going to save it as an Excel spreadsheet. Instead, I'm going to save it as a CSV. So I'm instructing Excel now to save this file as a CSV. I can give it whatever name I like. I'm going to call it upload.csv. And in actual fact, I can save it wherever I like as well. But to keep things simple, I'm going to save it in the same folder that my attachments are, EBI_demo. So I'll save that there. There's a couple of warnings from Excel there which I can ignore. And if I go to that folder now, you'll see there are my attachments and there's my newly created CSV file. In actual fact, the attachments and the CSV can be in completely different folders, but to do so we have to do a couple of extra steps in the EBI. So to keep it simple, I've put them all in the same folder. Now in the EBI, I need to instruct it where that CSV is. So I click the Browse button and go to the EBI demo folder and select the upload.csv file. In doing so, it loads the headings into the EBI. I can see there's the title description and the file XPath. EBI assumes that each one of those columns is going to contain nothing but metadata, and so it says here. That's true for title and description, but the third column, it's not just metadata, it's actually the locations of files. It's the names of files that EBI should find on my hard drive and upload into EQUELLA. So I need to tell that to the EBI by changing this metadata value here. I can double click on it and change the drop-down value to attachment locations. Now the EBI knows when it gets to the third column in the CSV, rather than just creating the text of the file name as metadata, it's actually going to find a file of that name and upload it into EQUELLA. So now we're pretty much ready to upload into EQUELLA, but rather than going ahead and doing it, I'm going to do a test. So by clicking Test Import, the EBI goes through each of the rows inside the CSV and checks it for validity. So row 1, item valid for import. Likewise for row 2 and row 3, and the final report is processing complete, success 3. So it's looking pretty good. Now if I go over to EQUELLA and do a search in the resources collection, it was only a test, so it didn't actually upload it. So because the test was successful, I'm going to go ahead and click Start Import. I click Start Import, and this time, row 1, item successfully imported. Row 2, item successfully imported. Likewise for row 3, processing complete, success 3. That looks excellent. So now when I do a search, in our resources collection, there are 3 items freshly uploaded. So we can go to any one of these items. We'll look at this one and check it, see how it looks. So there's a title, and there's the description, successfully uploaded, and there's the attachment. We'll click on it, and sure enough, there's the file. Likewise, we can look at a variety of these and see, okay, our content's looking pretty healthy. So today, we've done a basic upload of individual files into EQUELLA. Future tutorials, we're going to look at some more advanced techniques, multiple files, multiple metadata fields, and lots of different kinds of content.